Obviously, a crazy game. We found a way to win. I felt like we did a tremendous job in that first inning of coming out and putting up a lot of runs. And we had some innings where I felt like offensively we did, a good job. Maybe just didn't get the hit when we needed it, or one of those situations, which is kind of how the game goes. And then we obviously let them in the game. The Edwards kid, came through big for them. So, but we found a way. I thought Kate Munderland did a tremendous job. Came in, got through the part of the lineup that we needed her to get through. Was very efficient, and then obviously we figured out a way to get us basically, what was it, 9 outs. So, yeah, super proud of Lefty. That was fun to watch.
Okay, was Kennedy even more effective today than yesterday, and why? Because she threw a lot in the upper 74s, and you talked about that yesterday, but she was getting them out at 74 too.
Yes, Cease. She was more effective, though, today, to be honest with you. I feel like we had a good talk prior to the game of kind of where maybe things went a little sideways with her, and I thought she did a really good job of understanding that and commanding the pitches that she needed to and the zones that she needed to in order to be effective today. So I do think she was better today. If she can be effective at 74, I'll take it. But I'd really like her to, just command her pitches. That's really where my focus is at.
After you went to Munderland, you brought back Lefty. What was the rationale with bringing her back and then just taking her out to bring in Kennedy?
Yeah, it was kind of where we were in the lineup. I wanted Sid to give her an opportunity to see what she could do. And, things just didn't, kind of pan out the way. Most of you know that I have a plan before I go into the game. There was a Sydney sandwich in my brain, I guess I should say, in the game plan. But then I just didn't feel like I wanted to leave her in. So at that point in time, I'm going to go to Lefty, and she's been my dog, since we've gotten here. And it was going to be, here's the ball. And she did text me this morning, or actually our trainer did, and she talked to me, and she's like, I'm good to go today. So it was good.
Was the move to go to Sparks, was that kind of where you wanted it in the
game? That was the part that I thought was good, and obviously I didn't look so smart right there. So, we just got to keep moving forward. Yeah.
What are the conversations like with Lefty in terms of like velocity versus trusting her spin and just kind of making that happen each and every time?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I think, as you've seen her get better and better, and even this year get better and better, that's been her key, is being able to command the strike zone. When she lives too much at the waist level, it doesn't matter how hard you throw, you're playing with fire. And so I felt like today she kind of had a better spread of the strike zone, so down at the knees and up at the top of the zone. And I felt like both sides actually dealt with probably a really tight zone very well. And so you just got to keep working, and there's nothing you can do. And we talk about that, all day, of just like you can only control what you can control. So making sure that you don't let your emotions get the best of you.
What was your advantage on the hustle run there by Powell at the end? And I mean, how important was that with their middle of their lineup coming up in the next game?
Yeah, I think it begins and ends with Barbara, obviously running out hard and making sure that she doesn't get doubled off. And then KP, I thought KP was electric today. She did a great job, made a great defensive catch, and obviously offensively did a tremendous job. And that run for me was huge. Going into the 7th inning with 2-run lead versus a 1-run lead, I think is very different, especially with Edwards leading off. So, I think it was huge.
Yesterday you mentioned.
I'm sorry.
No, yesterday you mentioned Kramer came out because of an offensive decision, and then in the first inning she hits that double. What did you see from her today?
Yeah, I mean, Kramer just keeps working hard. I mean, she got to the top half of the ball, which is really what she needs to do. And, she keeps working. And I'm just proud of her because that kid has been frustrated, and she wants to, obviously offensively do a little bit more production, but she keeps working. And so that's the biggest thing, is you just got to keep working, and, those hits will come. You just have to believe in it. So I was very happy for her.
And then Mike Elko was in attendance yesterday.
Yeah.
And Bucky McMillan got the first pitch today. What does it mean to have the support of the other coaches on campus?
That's huge. Coach Elko and I have a good relationship. I actually call him and seek some advice sometimes. And he had given me the heads up that he was bringing his mom, which I think is huge. I mean, how many football coaches are coming, to our game? At least it's exciting. I did tell him that. And he stayed the whole 7 innings, which I think says a lot about who he is as a person. And, obviously Bucky, that was great to see him. And his head is spinning right now. I've been in his shoes. And so he's, trying to recruit right now, be in the portal. He has a family. So I did tell him, I was like, give your wife my number. I'm going to send you my number, and I'll help with any transitional pieces that I can help with. But just huge for us. I think it's, Coach Early and I have a great relationship. Him and I text back and forth with each other. And Joni Taylor, Coach Taylor and I think we have a really special group here. Tennis, golf, all of them, equestrian, Tana and I. So I think, we just do a great job because we understand the craziness that we live. But it's huge. It's what makes Texas A&M special.
KK made a great play at second right after shifting her over there. Was the shift also planned before the game, or was that just something you felt out?
I think Coach Harger moved her a little bit, depending upon kind of what their sprays did, but you'd have to ask him. I stay in that pitching lane, especially during that time. But I have a feeling he probably moved her, yeah.
How about Powell getting picked off, though, and then coming back? Isn't that kind of your motto that you kind of ingrained, that you put that behind and it doesn't matter, so to speak?
Yeah, I thought I just used the words resilience on the radio. Like, I felt like she didn't let that, get to her. She was obviously upset, and really what she was upset with is her first step was actually to go 2, and then she went back to the bag, and it was a bang-bang play. I'd like to see the replay because it looked pretty close. And she knows that if she didn't take that step, she's probably safe on that play anyway. So, but yeah, that's our game. Like, you have to, sometimes things happen and you're going 100%, but you got to come back for that next play. And I thought she did a great job with that.
Even in this 12, 13 game stretch, Trish, where you talked about batters hunting their pitch or whatever, is there such a thing as hunting the walk? Because you win today with 4 hits and have 9 runs, but yet you had a lot of quality at bats, obviously.
Yeah, I think because what happens is it gives the pitch count, gets it up, right? And so you're wearing out pitchers. B, you're always making them throw stressful pitches. And so when you're making them throw stressful pitches, the ball tends to get over the white a little bit more, right? When you're working behind. And then, obviously we've been able to get the big hit when we needed to. So I think just continuing to put pressure on pitchers, on defense, and always having traffic along the bases, I think it's huge.